What did you write? M103B. Oh, you are writing company. Okay, fine. Suppose I say, when I ask you percentage of dividend you would like to be paid to you, somebody has written 30, 40, 50, 60. Suppose if I make a statement that all answers are correct, or I make a statement, another statement, either this or that, okay, all answers are incorrect. Does it give you any clue to, revise your answer? Let us say all answers are correct.
Sir, it
One
depends
who is saying
on.
30% is correct, and one who is saying 70% is correct, one who is saying 90% is also correct. Okay. Companies or individuals?
So it depends if we are investing for long time or short time.
Okay. If I say those who wrote 30, they were looking for long run, and those who wrote 70, they were looking for short run. The both are correct. Can this be said like this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
That means whatever DPS you wish to have, your answer is correct. Suppose it does not take place, then what would you do? It does not happen. Your choice is not met. What will you do?
So we will go for the long run because in such a state we cannot suddenly sell the price, sell the share price, share market.
Any other answer? Okay.
So again we have
I'll explain to you. I'm giving you some time to think, but keep this slide in mind, the one that I have displayed. So I have explained to you DPS, I have explained to you EPS. Now one more ratio left in the discussion was price earning ratio, PE ratio. In these are also known as, this is the one that we were discussing. Where is that? Let me go back to, yes, this is the one that was last one, 4.2.3.h. Last one, price earning ratio. These are also known in the books as PE multiple, either price earning ratio or PE multiple. It is equal to market price per share divided by earning per share. You note down market price per share divided by earning per share. PE, I am just writing after clearing this one. PE ratio is equal to market price divided by EPS. Market price of share divided by EPS. Suppose market price is 50, 60, and 70 of these companies, and EPS is also mentioned. Let us delete DPS. Let us delete DPS. So this is the situation. EPS is given, market price is also given. Just let me check if I need to change the data. Yes, a bit change is required. Suppose it is 2 and it is 7. By the way, the formula is clear. Price earning ratio or price earning multiple is equal to the one that I have mentioned on the first part of your slide, first line of your slide. Now, out of these three companies, A, B, and C, the data is given before you. Now, which one you think is better?
So B.
So A and B both are same.
So C because C and
A
B.
and B
So
both are
B.
same, sir.
Both are same. So both are
A and
getting
B.
5% price earning ratio.
Okay. Any other? No. If you calculate price earning ratio, what will be the price earning ratio of these companies?
Five,
Suppose
five,
A,
5,
and
sir.
Five.
5.
five
Five.
and
C
six.
5.
How about B?
5.
Say
5.
Five.
5.
5.
Yes, sir.
5.
How about C?
10.
10.
10, sir.
10. Hmm.
10. Higher P ratio is desirable or lower?
Lower.
So lower P ratio.
Lower. It's not. I'm not saying a definite answer.
So I think higher is
This
required.
one,
Higher
this
is there.
one,
Higher
one
is
moment.
required.
Let me first clarify this thing, that DPS, EPS, all these things are calculated on the book value of a share. On which value?
Book value.
Book
Value.
value, face value at which you bought, not at the market value. Suppose market value of a share was, book value of a share was 10, face value was 10. So how much EPS is being paid? 100%. Book value was 10. How much is company paying? 120%.
100%. 120.
Book value was 10. How much is this company paying?
70%.
20%.
Now you as an investor will calculate percent return based on face value or market value.
Market value.
Market value.
Market.
Market.
So for you, how much is the return? Is it 100% or is it
20%.
20%? 10%, 20%, sorry, 100 or 20? If somebody wants to know from you how much return are you getting from your investment, what will be your answer? 100% or 20%? हाँ, कितना बताएंगे आप? 20% बताएंगे? और कंपनी कह रही है कि वी आर पेइंग 100%, वी आर अर्निंग 100%, और आप क्या कहेंगे? आपकी कंपनी कितना अर्न कर रही है फॉर यू? 100% और 20%? इज माय क्वेश्चन क्लियर?
Sir, 20%.
Okay, you will say that your company is earning अगेन वहीं लौट करके आ जाइए। मैंने क्या कहा था, कंपनी में और आप में कोई फर्क है कि नहीं है? भाई यू आर द वन हु टुक दिस डिसीजन। आप बोर्ड की मीटिंग में थे, एज ए आपको वोटिंग राइट था। आपने अगर कंपनी ने कहा कि वी हैव अर्न 100% ऑन योर शेयर, और आपका अपना कैलकुलेशन ये कहता है 20%, तो वहां आपने इतराज ऑब्जेक्शन करेंगे कि नहीं करेंगे? करेंगे। तो फिर क्या फाइनली क्या सही होगा? योर इन्वेस्टमेंट इज गिविंग यू 20% रिटर्न और योर इन्वेस्टमेंट इज गिविंग यू 100% रिटर्न in case of A. Okay. See what happens. Your return from the company is not merely confined to the dividend it pays or its EPS it earns. It also includes the appreciation in the value of your investment. You bought the share, let us say, for 100 or for 10. Now it is worth 50. So your investment has grown by
5 times.
5 times, 10 times, 70 times, any number of times. So merely dividend that company paid you on yearly basis or even half yearly basis, sometime interim dividend also, will not be counted for the calculation of the return, but also the appreciation in the market price of share. And so is true about the reduction or fall in the market price of shares. At times it may happen, company can pay you less dividend, but price of share can move much more, or vice versa. So total calculation will be based on these two plus something more. We will discuss more maybe in financial management when we come to that stage. Here from the accounting point of view, it is this much, whatever I have shared with you is enough. So I have explained to you DPS, EPS and market price per share. Then we go to another group of ratios known as capital structure ratio. If you need to know something more up to this stage, I am there to answer your queries. If not, I'll move on to the next group of ratios, which are capital structure ratios. Just one second. This is the slide from which I am taking, that is up to 4.2.3 I have done. This 4 is referring to the major classification of ratios, 2 is referring to the groups, and something like that. So you have capital structure ratios, in which we will be discussing 3 ratios. A, B, C. Debt equity ratio, total debt to equity ratio, and financial leverage. So if nothing to be asked, I'll explain to you debt equity ratio. The word itself makes it clear. You are calculating a ratio between the debt and equity. By now, you all, I hope, are clear what is a debt and what is an equity. Is it clear to each one of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is a debt?
So the liabilities which we have to repay
Better you say the
over
long-term liabilities,
long-term liabilities.
on which you have to return at a later date. What would be the example of those liabilities?
So bank to loan, long-term loans,
Bank loan, okay. Long-term bank loan, correct. Then
Debentures.
debentures,
Debentures.
then preference shares. Okay, anything that you have to pay in the long term, which is when we say term, we only are relating it to the financial year. So more than 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 10 years loans are your long-term liabilities. So if you take a ratio of long-term liability with your equity, debt equity, what all will you include in equity?
so equity shares, reserves and surplus.
Equity shares plus,
Reserves and surplus.
very good, reserve and surplus. Any other thing? Reserves and surplus are also can be termed by another word known as retained earnings. अभी आपने पढ़ा ना?
Yes, sir.
Retain. So whatever money you earn and you did not pay, naturally that will form reserves. For retained earnings, reserves, but there is only one more word to be added was free reserves. There are reserves on which there is a charge. You create some reserve, and because of which you have created a reserve that you will be using for replacement of machinery. So that reserve will be used as and when the machinery goes out of order. So free reserves is a better term. So you use a ratio between debt and equity. You divide debt by equity, you get a ratio. Or you write debt at one place and equity at another place and calculate a ratio, just like you calculate ratio and proportion that you would have done in your 6th, 7th, or 10th standard. So similarly, we calculate a ratio of debt is to equity, and which you will call as debt equity ratio. Suppose debt equity ratio can be 1 is to 10, 10 is to 1, 5 is to 3, 2 is to, I mean, there can be any figures. Debt, suppose a company has got debt of rupees 2 and equity of rupees 3. So its debt equity ratio will become 2 is to 3, isn't it? Suppose I write here itself debt equity ratio. Suppose it is 2 is to 3. It is 2 is to 3. For another company, it is 1 is to 4. For yet another company, it is 4 is to 1. Suppose these are A, B, C, and companies, A, B, and C respectively. So which one is better?
Sub B.
Sir, A.
Or
सर आइडियल रेशियो वैसे तो 2.5:1 होता है,
Mhm.
तो आई वुड से सी बिकॉज द डेट इज हायर देन द इक्विटी.
That is B में B की बात कर रहे हो?
सर सी.
The C. So C is better because it has more debt.
यस.
Any other answer?
Sir, A is better.
A is better. Suppose मैं इनका थोड़ा सा और बढ़ा देता हूँ. एक second. नेक्स्ट जो मैंने लिखा है वो क्या हो जाएंगी ये? डी और ई. डी और ई में बताइए कौन सी बेटर है?
Sir, E is better.
E.
ई इज बेटर, जो कि उनका 9 डेट है और 8 इक्विटी है. ऑल राइट, नाउ लुक एट इट फ्रॉम द पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ऑफ इन्वेस्टर्स, from the point of view of people who are providing you money, with the condition that E is in. As of now, it's with the condition E is in 9 debt and 1 equity. it wants to come up with another fresh issue in the market. It wants to come up with an IPO. Will it be fully subscribed or undersubscribed or what? You as an investor, will you be willing to buy the share of a company, buying fraction of a company which has 90% loan and 10% equity?
No,
Not
sir.
at all.
No, sir.
No,
Okay,
sir.
no. That means the chances are that issue will not be fully subscribed. Which one is the maximum riskier company, riskiest of all, which
The
carries
E.
maximum
E.
risk?
The E.
E.
E, sir.
Exactly.
E.
Sir, E.
Clear one,
Minus to
right?
1.
Because it carries huge amount of risk. Suppose there is no profitability, there is no profit in the company, still it has to pay interest.
Yes, sir.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And which is the least risky company?
So 1:4.
D.
Sir, D.
So
D.
D.
1:9.
D is the least riskiest company. It has total out of rupees 100, just 10% debt and 90% equity. There can be another situation 0:1, zero debt and 100% equity. That means that our answer lies in knowing two aspects. One is the risk associated and the other is profitability of the company. So we will see in the time to come in the next group of ratios. I have explained in details, in much detail. I have explained it to you. That has been explained in part C. Right now, just we cannot take a final call unless we go through the part C of our slide, last part, that is financial leverage. So right now, just the calculation part I have made clear. That is how do we find debt equity ratio? Normally 2:3 is considered as a comfortable ratio, but again there are no hard and fast rule. There are companies which have zero debt. There are companies which have higher debt. There are companies which claim proudly that a company where success is not on loan. Even some companies have advertised as their USP that we are a company where our success is not on loan. There are companies who have continuously tried to reduce their debt because of the interest burden. And but there are people who enjoy taking more and more loan, they leverage it. So we will talk about this, what are the implications and for the interpretation of balance sheet in part C of our analysis. Currently this much should be enough. The second ratio, total debt to equity ratio, is nothing. Here you have included only debt. When we say total debt, you can include current liabilities also, everything that is debt, long term, short run, but nothing more important. Debt equity ratio is more common. 4.2.4.8, the first line under capital structure ratios. Before that, the concept of capital structure I should have explained to you. You all should know the meaning of capital structure. You all know the meaning of capital, with which company starts business. When we say capital structure, we mean what are different types of capital with which a company is working. What are various types of capital? If total capital is 10, 2 equity, 3 debt, 4 this, 1 this, like this. The capital structure primarily would include different types of capital. Some debenture, some preferential, some retained earnings, some equity. So there are 4 categories. Each will have some percentage. More of it we will discuss in financial management when we talk about cost of capital, chapter in the unit 4th. For the time being, this much is enough for us to know what do we mean by the word capital structure. It conveys various permutations and combinations with which a company has invested in its business. In what various forms? How much is debt? How much is equity? How much is this? How much is that? So total you can call as capital structure of a company. So within this we discuss debt equity ratio, total debt to equity ratio. Now we come to financial leverage. Now, before I explain to you financial leverage, you all should know the meaning of word. Leverage has been derived from the word known as lever. तो लीवर का मतलब समझते हैं आप लोग क्या होता? क्या होता बताइए। और बताइए, और कैसे कोई फिजिक्स का है आप में से जिसने फिजिक्स पढ़ी हो, 12th या बीएससी किया हो फिजिक्स से? कोई नहीं है, और खास करके इसलिए भी नहीं बताएगा अगर उसे आंसर नहीं मालूम, तो ना बताना बेहतर है कि मैंने फिजिक्स से किया। तो नो वन इज देयर फ्रॉम फिजिक्स, कोई बात नहीं। आप सब लोगों ने लीवर कम
So
से, हाँ बताइए।
it's a मतलब it's a rod that is hinged at a point that's called liver in physics.
आप सब लोगों ने, आपकी एक्टिवा में, स्कूटी में ब्लड में पंचर हुआ होगा तो आपने देखा होगा लीवर से खोलता है वो। तो मतलब क्या हुआ उसका? लीवर इज समथिंग, okay, or it is something with, no, I am trying to bring its answer, its meaning closer to finance, closer to accounting and finance. Something that magnifies the effect of a force. Is that अगर आप बगैर लीवर के कोई चीज उठाएंगे तो आपको बहुत फोर्स लगानी पड़ेगी, और लीवर के साथ लगाएंगे तो आपको
सर कम फोर्स लगानी पड़ेगी।
something that magnifies the effect of a force. Now look at the, now again one more example is necessary and then it will be related to financial management or management accounting. Look at the hand pump. आप लोगों में से कम लोगों ने कभी हैंड पंप तो यूज किया होगा ना?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you want to take 1 glass of water, you can press it suppose from several places of its handle. अगर हैंडल को आप कहाँ से पकड़ते हैं, सबसे ऊपर से या सबसे नीचे से?
सबसे नीचे से सर।
सबसे नीचे से।
नीचे से।
अगर नीचे से पकड़ते हैं तो with a particular amount of force you get a glass filled with water. Suppose you hold it or press it from middle. To get the same glass of water, you will need
सर
More force.
more force लगाना पड़ेगा।
more force लगाना पड़ेगा। And as you move down, जब आप बिल्कुल लास्ट में आ जाते हैं तो कम फोर्स से you get the same glass of water. Now related to accounting, profitability and capital structure. Different capital structure gives you different profitability. This once again I am saying only on a piece of paper, only for the academic discussion, only for writing examination. Real world is different. That too I'll explain to you. But right now, different capital structure gives you same profitability. So people change capital structure, their profitability changes. By changing capital structure, profitability changes. If you do so, you are in a way indulging in financial leverage. That is, you are leveraging your profitability by changing capital structure. The meaning now is clear? Okay.
Yes.
Now it has been illustrated, and the illustration requires some concentration on these slides. So this has been worked out quite in detail. Okay, good. There are two firms, A, B. Firm B, there are two scenarios. First scenario is firm B, another scenario is firm B, 2. So first let us talk about only two firms, A and B. Assume that their total assets are 1,000 each. Look at serial number 1. Total assets are 1,000.
1,000 each.
1,000. Okay. Equity is?
So 1,000.
So 1,500 respectively.
Just hold on. 1,000 in case of A and 500 in case of B.
Firm B, yes sir.
So naturally, it is impossible to have asset and liabilities unequal. So we have taken the third, we have assumed the third point, debt carrying 10% interest. In case of A, it is 0. In case of B, it is 500. Only then asset will be equal to capital plus liabilities.
Yes sir.
Yes sir.
Okay, there are 10 points in which I have tried to explain this illustration. So unless each subsequent point is clear, moving on to the next one will be difficult. So if the calculations are clear up to third point, only then I'll move on to the fourth point. So up to third, A is equal to C plus L is clear to all of you for A and B both?
Yes
Good.
sir.
Good. Now further assume that their return on asset is 20%. Return on asset is 20%. So how much both of them will earn?
200.
200, yes sir.
Is clear for both the firms?
Yes sir.
Yes.
Now, before they distribute dividend, before they arrive, before they calculate EPS, DPS, and all those things, they have to pay taxes, they have to pay interest, they have to clear everything. Only then they can pay.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, we subtract interest. How much interest will company A will pay?
So zero, because it does not have any debt.
Because it does not have any debt, its interest outlay will be zero. How much will company B pay?
50.
Where is it coming from? 10% of 500.
500.
So step fifth is clear.
Yes, sir.
Step
Yes, sir.
6, earning after interest but before taxes. Earning after interest before taxes कितनी होगी? For A, because nothing has been paid, it is 200, and for B, it becomes
150.
150.
because 50 has been paid as interest.
50% is tax.
Okay. Now, suppose we assume taxes are 50%. This 50 I have assumed for the simplicity of calculation. It could have been 34%, 35%, but doesn't make. Just for the simplicity of calculation, I have assumed how much taxes will company A pay? Because its earning are 200, and how much will B pay?
175.
75.
75, because out of 50, out of 150, it will pay 50% taxes. Now, how much are interest after earning and taxes? Sorry, earning after interest and taxes?
175.
175. So up to serial number 8,
So
200
200.
200.
इंटरेस्ट कितना था?
50.
50. तो क्या उनका रह जाएगा?
150.
150.
Isn't it? Let me write it like this. Earning was 4 and interest was, how much was the interest? Less interest. No, you are asking the fifth one. Fifth one you are asking, sixth one you are asking. So their earning was 4. Serial number 4.
Yes,
This
sir.
stage for where we are.
So
A
A.
is doing.
सबका यही आंसर है फॉर्म ए, और कोई बी भी कह सकता,
Sir, A.
कोई चेंज नहीं.
So B, because it is paying less tax.
लेस टैक्सेस तो जब पे करेंगे जब आपकी इनकम लेस होगी.
Yes, sir.
सर
बी. अच्छा, रीजन बताइए बी क्यों अच्छी है. से नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स, कितने शेयर्स हो जाएंगे अगर 10 रुपए का डिनोमिनेशन है तो 100 शेयर हो जाएंगे. सपोज हर एक के पास, हर एक आदमी ने एक शेयर खरीद रखा, तो नंबर ऑफ शेयर होल्डर कितने हो जाएंगे?
So 110.
100 हो जाएंगे. तो दिस 100 विल बी डिवाइडेड अमंग 100 पर्सन्स. नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स आई हैव रिटन 100 लाइक दिस. हाउ मच ईच विल गेट?
1 rupee.
1 रुपी. यहाँ 75 विल बी डिवाइडेड अमंग 50
50%.
पर्सन्स या 50 शेयर्स. तो हर एक को कितना मिलेगा?
1.50.
1.50. अब कौन सी कंपनी बेटर हो गई?
Form B.
So B.
आप अगर शेयर होल्डर्स हैं, आप अगर शेयर, अब मान लीजिए आपने पहले से खरीद रखा, किसी ने ए में खरीद रखा है, आप में से आधे लोगों ने ए में, आधे लोगों ने बी में, तो विच कैटेगरी ऑफ पीपल आर बेटर?
B.
So B.
बी. अच्छा, ये बताइए आप में से अगर इसके बाद चॉइस है, ये तो आपने देख लिया डेटा. नाउ टुमारो देयर इज एन आईपीओ कमिंग अप, ए और बी दोनों का आईपीओ आ रहा है, तो आप किस में खरीदना चाहेंगे?
B.
बी में खरीद.
सर ए में खरीदूंगी, फिर
A में,
बाद में
number
बेच
of-
देंगे उसे.
ना एक सेकंड दोबारा बताओ अरीशा.
So number of shareholders are more in the A. That's why I think.
तो क्या क्या आपका डिसीजन इस पर डिपेंड करता है किसमें नंबर ऑफ शेयर होल्डर ज्यादा हैं?
So
चलिए
for
लास्ट सवाल का जवाब दीजिए बिफोर वी क्लोज। बहुत सोच समझ के बताइए। ये तो देखिए अब यू कैन नॉट गो बैक, डेटा आपके सामने है, इस डेटा को सामने रखते हुए यू आर टेकिंग फर्दर डिसीजन कि यू वांट टू बी शेयर होल्डर इन वन ऑफ दोस कंपनीज। चलिए इनके एग्जिस्टिंग शेयर खरीदना चाहते हैं, पुराना खरीदना चाहते हैं, नए, सपोज एग्जिस्टिंग है इनके, मार्केट में बिक रहे हैं, हर एक के बिकते हैं, आप खरीदना चाहते हैं, तो आप ए में खरीदना चाहेंगे या बी में? राइट डाउन, जस्ट वन सेकेंड, लेट मी राइट द क्वेश्चन। इन विच कंपनी विल यू बी शेयर? ये मैंने सवाल लिखा है, किस कंपनी में आपको ये करना है कि अपना रोल नंबर लिखना है और ए और बी लिखना है। लिख दिया आप सब लोगों ने?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
अब जो कि आप लिख चुके हैं ऑलरेडी चैट बॉक्स में, तो वापस तो आप जा नहीं सकते। ये बताइए जो इस्लामिक बैंकिंग के बच्चे हैं उसमें से कितने लोगों ने बी लिखा है? किसी ने लिखा है बी?
Yes, sir.
आपने लिखा। अच्छा, आप बाकी को छोड़ दीजिए, इस्लामिक बैंकिंग वाले बच्चे जरा सोचें कि अगर उन्होंने बी लिखा है तो उन्होंने सही लिखा है या नहीं लिखा। बाकी सब भी सोच सकते हैं, बट इट इज विद स्पेशल रेफरेंस टू दोज स्टूडेंट्स। So we shall be, closing the class here with the note that students pursuing, only all of you can, think, no doubt. I mean, I'm not restricting you to think or, but especially those who are pursuing Islamic banking and finance course, if they have opted for B, they may think once again whether it was correct or not. कुछ रिलेशन समझ में आया कि भाई am I asking only for the Islamic banking students?
Yes, sir.
क्यों?
Islam interest.
Because
Because of interest.
yeah, उसने B company ने
Because
Interest.
so loan लिया है उसने
हैं
B
आप?
company debt
because
because Islamic banking does not include interest.
does not include interest. चलिए कोई बात नहीं। अब आपको मैं, टुडे इज व्हाट 28 ना? अच्छा, कल कोई छुट्टी है क्या है, कुछ पता है किसी को?
सर कल छुट्टी है।
हाँ, तो
महाशिवरात्रि है सर कल।
जी,
महाशिवरात्रि है सर।
सर
महाशिवरात्रि
महाशिवरात्रि कल छुट्टी है।
तो कल फिर क्लास नहीं होगी।
Yes, sir.
जी सर।
ये चाहते हैं आप क्लास हो?
No, sir.
नो सर, नो सर।
नहीं
No,
होना
sir.
चाहिए। छुट्टी के दिन नहीं होनी चाहिए।
यस सर।
कोई बात नहीं, एंजॉय योर हॉलीडे। तो वी आर मीटिंग देन ऑन
So Wednesday.
Wednesday, inshallah.
कोई बात नहीं। we may compensate this class maybe on coming Friday, isn't it?
Sure, sir.
तो फ्राइडे को 8 बजे इसकी जगह क्लास हो जाएगी आपकी। You can leave the meeting now because you have to join another class.
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
thank you sir